refugees from Pax Darkus are safe in the dwarven kingdom of Thormodden. You are in the ancient port city of Tarsus, searching for ships to bear them out of the dragon army's reach. But nothing in silent Tarsus is as you expected. The sea receded in a cataclysm. No ship will ever set sail from Tarsus again. The new quest is before you. To find one of the legendary DragonLance, mighty weapons that destroyed the dragons in ancient times. Welcome to the world of Kryn and the legendary DragonLance.
I watched Seven Heaven. That was a bad show.
It was a bad show.
Yes.
We're live, by the way.
Are you ready? I got to give the
Sorry.
date. 1998.
Wow.
August 5th.
That's not true. That
I
is
shall
not
do
true.
some further research.
Anyway,
tell you
we
that's
are
not true.
live. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to TV Talk from Wicked Studios. No, what? Oh, no, that's not what we're doing. We're playing DragonLance. This is Wicked
gonna
Studios
say.
presents DragonLance, Dragons of Ice, Part 2, because we're cold as ice. And
I need to have
gotta
you
do that
start
every time.
recording Greyhawk Adventures intro. You're so much better at it.
Thank you, but I'm not going to do that probably. Hi, everybody. I'm Adam. I'm your dungeon master for tonight's festivities as we play through the original DragonLance modules, and we're sometimes fairly faithful to them. But if you're expecting it to be just like the modules, for example, this one I have here, and I just like holding on to these things. This was the first module I ever bought, by the way, was this one. And then it was 20 years later when I got the other ones. So, let me introduce the rest of the cast. And I know, I was starting a conversation, then I stopped. I'm not feeling well tonight, guys, but I'm here for you.
But you do this all the time.
It's true. I have a short attention span. So, let's introduce the rest of the cast. Let's start with Jason. Jason, who are you playing tonight?
Hi everybody, my name is Jason. I'm playing Zane, the Elven Wizard, and Kaylani, the Elven Druid. And Zane happens to be the twin brother of Zarek.
You know what? Why don't we talk to then KD? KD, how are you doing tonight? Who are you playing?
I'm okay. I'm playing Zane's twin brother. I'm also battling laryngitis. Zane's twin brother.
You just had to
Zarek.
one-up me because I said I wasn't feeling well. I feel like
No,
that's
I
what
promise
just
I'm not.
happened there.
Because I cleared my throat because my voice cracked.
Yeah.
Jason,
You've been talking the entire time we were waiting to go on. Never mentioned.
I know.
It. Now all of a
And
sudden you're trying to steal my thunder. That's not.
And I'm
that's not cool.
straining.
You sound great.
Thanks. I'm playing Zarek, who's Zane's twin brother. He's an elven fighter. I'm also playing Odie, who is no one's twin brother. And
You know what?
and he might be.
You might be.
We don't know. Yeah.
I know. You don't know.
He's a what's that word? I don't know what it's called.
A draconian?
Draconian, not Dragonborn. Dragonborn. Draconian fighter.
I feel like now that you do have laryngitis. I'm starting to
Yeah.
believe you is what I'm saying.
I told you. It keeps cracking and it's like
It's tough to
I'm
believe you
straining.
because you always just turn this place into a den of lies.
yeah. You're right.
That's really what
My
it is.
God.
Speaking of liars, let's go to Kemchan.
That's not even my name.
It's not. It's
But I will say that I am Kemchan. And I'm playing Jedek on Antigrath, the Minotaur pirate. And that's it today.
yeah, that's all you're gonna get to today.
Yeah.
Probably. And then finally, last and least, what? Oh, did that come out right?
You must have read what I wrote in chat.
I did. Will.player!
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Will.player this evening, and I will be bringing to you the moralistic, honor-bound Sir... What's my character's name again?
For fuck's sake. Yeah, Queen Tiamat's right. I'm being extra sweet today.
He is being sweet, yeah.
And this is how I treat my friends, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. Sir
I
Alphatian.
like these people.
You guys all heard it. You heard it. He said he liked me. It's on the record.
I do. Of course I like Will.
How could you not?
It's
anyway,
impossible
stop.
not to.
You're messing up my thing. I had it
I
down.
think you're blushing now.
I remembered the name. Shit, I just forgot. Alphatian Malkarite. And Knight of the Rose. I can't. This I'm gonna fuck up. Salamnian? Did I say it right?
Salamic. Yeah, you're a Salamnic knight. Some
Salamic?
people say Salamnic. But
I
that
always
sounds
wanna
just a
say
little bit too country for me.
I always want to say salami, and
I know
that's
you
completely
do. I
wrong.
know you do.
Because salami is.
Just like cashew, you want to say cashew.
I wanna
Although there's
say
some people
cashew.
that say like quashu or you know what?
Yeah, I leave all these hard Dragonlance words up to you, man.
It's tricky to say out loud some of these things. And again, some of these things I may be mispronouncing, ladies and gentlemen at home. You might have a different way that you pronounce them, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong here, unless Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss are watching, in which case they've got it right.
They were on last week in incognito, though.
Yeah, that's what it was. So anyway, let's get down to it. Antecedently on.
Wait.
Shut the fuck. No, just wait.
No,
I'm sorry, what?
You're forgetting. You asked us to remind you to say something.
Oh, yes. Thank you to Queen Tiamat for a 6-month subscription. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
You can always interrupt me to talk about Queen Tiamat,
I know, right?
one of our regulars here. And Lee Kim's in town. I think I saw Fourth in there earlier. Yeah, Fourth was in here. So we got Sidorin. I don't know who else we got.
Lord
Bloodwild.
Sidorin.
We got all of the I was gonna say the old timers, but that's mean. All of the usual suspects, we'll say, and then some. There are others that just haven't.
Bloodwild
talked yet.
is a straight up Grognard, if I remember correctly. It was that night, right? Bloodwild.
It sound the way that you said that. He's a straight up Grognard, like he's gonna fuck you up.
He would. I'm sure he would, man.
Is it because
especially with
is
you
it
being under the
because-
weather?
It's because I'm under the weather and I always
Yes.
make fun of Grognards. Is that why?
Yeah, we'll go down that road. I'm good with it.
By the way, check out old episodes of the Down Roll where Will and I talked about. There's a podcast. It's on YouTube / Mr. Adam PL, where we used to talk about. We don't do it anymore.
We should. That was a
We
lot of
should.
fun.
It was fun. Where we spent about 30 minutes or so just talking about role playing games. Most of it was Will talking about role playing games and me yelling at him.
That's true.
That
It
was pretty
classic.
much how it went.
That
And
was-
also
that
the old Dragonlance module, old Dragonlance sessions, sorry, are also on podcast. The first 19 episodes are up. So Almost a little more than half of the episodes are on podcast. Just search anywhere you listen to podcast for DragonLance Chronicles.
Did we ever do Dragonlance on the down roll?
No, we never talked about DragonLance. I talked about it when we talked about like settings, but that was the only time I think we ever talked
There was
about
one episode where I asked you the questions. I don't remember what the topic was.
it. It was because I was probably being such an asshole that you just got tired of
It's very true. It's possible.
answering my dumb questions and asked your own. Anyway, antecedently on Dragonlance. The Red Dragon Army has attacked the once port city of Tarsus, now landlocked after the cataclysm changed the land. The Innfellows had gone there to look for safe passage for the refugees that they had rescued from Pax Darkus, and now reside in the dwarven kingdom of Thorbarden. There no longer seems to be anywhere safe on the continent of Ansalon, and we're really going to put that to the test pretty soon. Our boy Zarek was abducted by the Blue Dragon Army forces and brought to the tent of the Blue Dragon High Lord, who just so happened to be Zarek's old girlfriend, his ex, Kitiara. Or were they? I don't know. We got to dig into that. Did they break up? Did they just leave on good terms? We got to maybe look into that later on. What do you think?
I mean,
though,
I
Katie?
could tell you.
Yeah.
What
What do
I
you think? What do you think?
I was under the impression that they were just like, we're going our separate ways,
Yeah.
but it's not the end. You
Yeah.
know, like it wasn't like over.
Right. Yeah,
was-
that's
that's the
what
sort
I
of-
thought, but I didn't want to put words in your mouth. So forget about the X part and the old part.
So technically, they're still dating.
Yeah,
I mean,
although
they
I
ain't
don't know.
anymore.
Yeah, wow, it was a rough reunion. Speaking of which, Kitiara did warn him of the impending attack on Tarsus by the Red Dragon armies, and then tried to convince him to leave the others, including his brother, to join her. Zarek declined Kit's offer and she left him rather, as her forces prepared to leave the camp. Zarek then left Kit's tent, although had a bit of a moment. It was a rough moment, I think, for Zarek, having to make that choice. But when he left the Kit's tent, he encountered Bakaris, one of the Blue Dragon Army officers, who, along with a contingent of Draconians, attacked. Zarek was no longer alone, however, as Flint Fireforge, Gilthanas, and Lorana had found Zarek and aided him in the fight. Bakaris was kind of badass, too. Zarek led the others in defeating their attackers, but not before Gilthanas fell and is now unconscious. The Knight of the Rose, Sir Alphatian Malkorite, played by Will Player, Sir Derek Crownguard, and Sir Aaron Talbot. You missed your whole thing.
I got it.
Thing.
I just went pew pew.
It was sad.
You didn't hear it?
I didn't
did
hear
it.
it. No.
I heard it.
Okay. It was probably just me. I can't hear it very well. Sir Alphatian Malkorite, Sir Derek Crownguard. Well, yeah, you've got bionic ears now, though. I don't.
That's true.
Sir Derek Crownguard, Sir Aaron Talbot made it to Tarsus, and there met a Minotaur named Jadek and a Kender named Tasselhoff Burfoot. Some of you Dragonlance folks, I'm sure, may have heard of him. Pretty popular guy. The knights were searching for Tasselhoff in hopes that he would be able to help them fight fight. Oh man, it's gonna be a long night, folks. I'm sorry, I'm having a rough time here. Find the long-destroyed Library of Kristan and information about the Dragon Orb, rumored to have the power to destroy the dragons. The Kender helped the knights find a book written in a strange language that only Tasselhoff could read, thanks to what I know is the glasses of Arcanist, which were so small that only he could wear them. It wouldn't fit on Alphatian's big head. In the book, Taz read, but that was just for Will.
Yeah.
Little dig. In the book, Taz read that there was a dragon orb located in Icewall, down to the south of where they currently are. Aaron Talbot, once Derek left the room, not just the room, but left the library altogether, knighted the Kender, which was one of my favorite things of the episode. That was a good episode last week.
We were totally on par too, because I was going to say we should knight him.
Yeah. So they knighted the Kender, Sir Tasselhoff Burfoot the Learned. And I think that was also just a little bit of an homage to Lee Kim the Learned, who we were
Oh, totally.
talking about earlier. Elsewhere, Jadek Kailani, and I'm never going to get that name right either, and Karani, along with the remaining crew members from Jadek's now floating Flora ship, watch last episode to find out what I mean by that. Thanks to Kailani. The crew members were Jesus and Big Dave, sailed toward the port city of Riget. Jadek awoke on the strange ship that the others had commandeered while he was unconscious to the discovery that his ship was lost and his crew dead, including his friend and quartermaster Adewale Finch. They then interrogated the Draconian that they had taken with them and found out that the Red Dragon army is seizing all ships coming into the ports on Ansalon, and has taken over the northern part of Abinancia. None of it sounds right. From there, they were able to dock in Riget, and the extremely charismatic, I think he had like a 23 or something like that charisma we rolled for him, with the aid of some of your...
Yeah, he ended up with like a 26.
It was something ridiculous. I think of something ridiculous like that. But
In Dragonlance, is there a god of being super smooth?
it is now.
His name is Shaft.
Jesus.
Shaft.
The god Shaft.
Every time Jesus comes onto the scene, it's all like got his music playing.
Abana Cinia. Thank you, Bloodwild. Abana Cinia. You're going to have to remind me that every time, though, because I'm going to forget it immediately. Hidukel, I believe is how you pronounce that one. Anyway, that's a god. Is he? I don't think he's really the god of being smooth, though. Maybe. I guess you could put him in that category.
Smooth operator.
And what else happened? Oh yeah,
I'm the god of being smooth.
That's the spirit. You know what? The way you said that, I believe it.
Hey.
So anyway, they were able to dock in Riget, and the extremely charismatic Jesus paid off the Draconian guard, and he and Big Dave went off to find a new ship and some crew, while Jadek, Kailani, and Karani... he is evil god, yeah. Sorry, I'm talking to chat. Will, if you knew anything about Dragonlance, I would let you do it. But you don't. And her sister Karani, they went off to Tarsus to find the elf mage that Kailani had been having visions about. During the cold trek through the wilderness on the way to the city, Kailani not only noticed what appeared to be a dragon flying nearby, but also had a vision of 2 sets of golden hourglass eyes, which appeared to be in some sort of conflict. He then felt an intense pain. She then felt an intense pain in her head. And then during this, her twin, Karani, began to bleed from her nose, then her eyes, ears, and mouth. And then she dropped, lifeless to the ground. Kailani then said, "Zarek is dead too," and passed out. Finally, way back last year, few weeks ago, we met the Red Draconian army captain, Odysseus, who was searching for the town of Solace's blacksmith, a man named Theros Ironfeld. He and the Draconian soldiers under his command found Theros, trying to sneak some elf refugees out of Solace. Theros is a cool guy, by the way. I'm going to just throw that out there. The Draconians killed the elves and cut off Theros' arm before throwing him into a cage in the caravan leading for the Paxtarchus slave mines. And now, my friends, we are going to start tonight's adventure. Odysseus, you are at the dwarven city of Thorbarden. The attack on the kingdom has not gone as planned. Dragon High Lord Verminard has been slain, as Jesus Christ. I don't know why I wrote it this way. Asshat. Lord Verminard has been slain. As has his top officers, which I'm never going to write those 2 words together in a sentence that I need to speak out loud again. The dwarven army has begun.
I know
I'm
English is a
enjoying
hard
this.
second language. It
Just
is.
take a breath.
Really
Take a
is
breath.
tough.
It's okay.
The dwarven army has begun to overtake the dragon army and have driven them back outside the gates. Chaos reigns. Word is that the highest ranking officer left alive is somehow the slovenly hobgoblin Viewmaster Toad. As you flee into the mountains, you are separated from your company. It is evening, and the silver light of the moon Solinari guides your way through the darkness. I have been waiting for you, a deep voice says ahead of you. As you continue up the ridge, you see a huge platinum dragon before you, its scales sparkling in the silver moonlight. I've been watching you. You're different than the others. You may have been born of evil, but there is goodness in your heart. What is your name?
I don't have one. I'm a soldier.
All beings on Kryn, born of magic or natural means, especially those special and with the potential that you have, should have a name. I name you Odysseus, but that sounds very official, doesn't it? Too official for where your fate takes you.
I don't want them to think that I'm evil or strong.
So what would you prefer to be called?
How about Odie?
And you see a little bit of a smirk and a little glint in his eye and says yes. Although, Odie, you are strong. Thank you, Scott Marish, for subscribing on YouTube. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Scott's another weekly viewer here, hanging out with us here in Dragonlance, although doing it silently on YouTube. Wait, I don't have chat set up there. I don't think you can chat. You can type and then I can respond, but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm talking to Odie. You are strong, Odie. And I don't mean just physically, although it is true. You are strong in spirit, of will. And you don't want those to think that you are evil. But you have done evil things, haven't you?
He looks away.
But what is life without mistakes and redemption? I offer you the opportunity of redemption, Odie. Do you accept?
How?
He reaches a metallic talon, huge. Like this talon, the talon itself, he could grab onto, to you and your entire regiment. And a clawed talon comes at you, and what should be a terrifying experience, especially because of the size of this thing. You feel with it a sense of belonging. And the talon touches you on your chest where your heart is, through, on top, it clinks a little on your armor, that of the Red Dragon Army. And as soon as that happens, a rush of emotion fills you. You hear the cries of those you have slain. You see their blood dripping from your sword. Their bodies strewn to the ground. Left. Trampled over. Burned. It is an overwhelming sensation.
He'll drop to his knees, throw his head back, and howl.
As you do that, you hear their voices. Why? 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 Then you hear them calling out a loved one's name. A mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a lover, a friend, a child. You scream, hoping to drown out these voices. But you can't. The dragon waits until you just have run out of energy. And says, I would say that it gets easier over time. But I'll not lie to you. That said, I offered you redemption. And that is what I gave you. Your ability to feel. Your ability to understand. And the empathy to know what they felt when you and your brethren attacked and murdered and worse. What you do with this redemption, Odie, is up to you. Everyone walks their own path. You have the option and the ability to choose whether you will continue to walk the path of darkness or turn from it and walk the path of light. And gives you a little wink and says, I have faith in you. And just know that how you and the others came into being, you will find the answers. And yes, as I said before, it was done by evil means, by evil men. But you have the opportunity to pen your own story. And with that, he vanishes.
Odie will get up. Where's the Red Dragon army right now?
They're scattered throughout the mountains. You do hear a number of them fairly close by, but you have
Like which general direction?
all around you.
Okay. He's gonna walk in a direction where he knows he will not run into any of them and just keep walking.
Roll we'll say a perception check, and then a survival check with advantage depending on how well you do with your perception.
Sure.
Okay, now roll a survival, just a straight roll. Okay. You come close a couple of times to stumbling upon just the wayward draconian here or there, maybe a goblin. Everybody is hurt and scared and is so consumed with self-preservation at this point that they're more interested in getting away than they are in you, so you're able to quickly enough dodge out of view. You do hear, as you continue around the mountain, to hear a familiar voice. A fellow officer, somebody who you have absolutely no respect for. He's slightly above you in rank. It is Viewmaster Toad.
That was me, not Odie.
It was probably both.
Kill him.
And you hear him say, "Come, we need to gather up more of our men."
I saw one going that way. I'm chasing after him. I'm trying to be stealthy. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. Lord Verminard has been killed. I saw it with my own eyes. So have his top officers. Well, I guess that means I'm in command now. Find the others. Meet down below in that clearing. Do you see? And he points off in a direction. We will gather there. Gather our strength. Find a place to recover from our wounds.
Okay.
Yes. Good, yes. But just say, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Viewmaster. Try that. Say that.
Okay. And he walks away.
You didn't kill him.
He's in shock.
He also has plot armor, because we know he's still alive in the future.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. You continue off. Do you want to go up or down the mountain? You can find ways in either direction.
Probably up.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get to, and it takes some time and effort, and you're already emotionally drained. Physically, I mean, you were one of the top soldiers in the Draconian army, which is why you were able to make officer. And there was only one other Draconian officer in the Red Dragon army. Most of the officers were humans. There was a couple of ogres. There was an Etten. But the dragon armies, and especially the human High Lords, always treated the Draconians very poorly. The Draconians themselves also, there was a lot of infighting to try to one-up each other. Not to say that you didn't have any, comrades at arms or, what you would consider a friend, even if maybe a work friend. But, but now just thinking about all the things that you've done with them and on your own, just the sight of certainly Toad, but even the other Draconians, and hearing their voices from below, even at a distance, just sickens you. And you're able to find a spot out of the way, away from the others, and the sounds become more distant. You do hear, as you're sitting there reflecting on what just transpired and this feeling that you've never nothing has ever come close to this feeling of dread and sorrow and the need for atonement. You hear Toad. And you hear him, because he's now speaking, very loudly, and it's there's some echo within the mountains, trying to rally the troops and talking about how it's not over. And soon, when they gather their strength, they will get the dragons, and they will attack Tarsus. And with that, we will go to Tarsus and the Library of Kristan. And Alphatian and Aaron and Sir Tasselhoff.
Tasselhoff, yeah, baby.
Are excuse me. Are in the taverns, not the tavern, the library still. Derek has left. He's been gone for close to a half hour, probably.
Well, weren't we going to follow him out? We just wanted to knight Tasselhoff right quick.
You guys didn't. We never got that far. So, what would you like to do then?
Well, because when Derek left and was going up, fucking Derek said, don't, because he said don't knight him.
He said specifically not to knight.
Yeah. So
him.
So Alphatian went to the stairs, and as he was going to the stairs, he turned to Aaron and says, "Go knight him." And then he went up the stairs to keep Derek from coming back down and what have you, to like run interference. So he was like right on his heels.
Okay. So as the two of you leave the ruins of the library, Derek suddenly grabs your arm to stop you from continuing forward.
I beg your pardon.
Puts his hands to his lips as if to say, "Shut the fuck up." And then points.
Well, instantly Alphatian will go low and look. His military training kicking in.
You see in the distance, through the north gate, a group of adventurers. Mercenaries is probably a good way to describe them. They're not in very good shape. There's a lot of them that are unconscious that are being sort of dragged in. They look like they're really worse for wear. You can tell that, I mean, because you just traveled this way not that long ago. They're not prepared for this weather. None of them were dressed appropriately. Looks like there's a couple of elves, one of which is in the black wizard robes. I forgot what time period we are in now because we've been bouncing around so much. Which is strange for an elf. I mean, you've heard of dark elves before, those that have left the mostly Qualinesti and have forsaken their ways. But to see a dark elf wizard is surprising. And again, elves, while they can be, cocky assholes who keep to themselves, they're known to be good creatures. They've got their beef with the dwarves. They don't really like humans coming and going in their lands, but you don't really want them around either for the most part. So, but elves you have met have been, certainly good and for the most part noble creatures. So this is a bit odd. There's also...
Yeah, but there's draconians all over the place, so I'm chalking it up to the times.
Yeah. Yeah, the other elf with him is larger, more muscular than a lot of the elves that you've seen, although still very, lithe and light in his feet. There are a couple of plainsmen, one very tall one, strikingly handsome, and then there's Ergrin.
Yes. I knew that was coming.
And
then a noble, regal-looking plainsman.
There's a very tall human with a dwarf-like beard, walking with an actual dwarf, and a half elf. And the half elf is what really catches your interest, because as you continue to look on his
that traitor Tennis.
It's not him. He's dead. You're responsible for his death, and you'll never know if he was a traitor or not. So there's attached to his belt is a scabbard, and because of the light in that area, even though it's far, I mean, you would recognize this from, a mile away. This is an old scabbard. It's clearly of Solamnic make. Although this is, he's not a knight, but this is the scabbard of a sword that a knight would.
Is that what Derek's pointing out to me?
Yes.
He's what? Okay. Yes. So he's carrying one of our blades. I'm sure there's plenty about Kryn.
Looks like that bandit stole one.
Amalamnia, or wherever we're at. How do we say it again, Adam? Anasia.
Abanasinia.
Okay, right. I'm sure there's plenty.
Thank you, Bloodwild, for typing it again phonetically in the chat.
I'm sure there's plenty Solamnic weapons about Abanasine. This place. Does it look like something that I should know, aside the fact that it looks like a Solamnic weapon?
As they, and he just stands there quietly, and then at this point,
I like
Aaron
a Hakuna Matata. Well played, sir. Well played, sir.
Aaron comes up as well, leaving Tasselhoff to continue to see if there's any other information in that book. that only he can read with those glasses.
Right.
And Aaron, roll a perception check.
Oh no, he's drunk.
Yeah, that's when he does his best work.
Right.
10. There's
Not
something
today.
about this. There's something about this sword. And if he says there's something about this sword, I'd like Alphatian and Derek, Kim Chen, you can run Derek as we're doing here, to roll a history check. So I guess intelligence for Derek.
All right, here goes a fail.
15.
Hold on a second. Let me find this history. So, I'm not. Well, could be worse. Let's put it that way.
13. Plus 2 is not bad. Yeah, it's there is something about this, but it's hard to make out from this distance. And Derek says, "That's Brightblade."
Now, does that ring a bell when he says
Yes,
that?
absolutely. It is a very famous sword, obviously owned by the Brightblade family. Sturm Brightblade was a knight, a hero. Then he became disgraced when rumors circulated that he had a relationship with a elf. He was stripped of his knighthood, and there was a party of knights that were sent to search for this elf maid, and Sturm headed that group off and refused to let them pass, and instead fought the knives. And this isn't Derek saying this. This is what Alphatian knows to be true. And the knights slayed Sturm Brightblade. But during that time, the elf maiden had escaped.
And took the sword with her?
No. The sword was then, and the armor, was returned to Brightblade's family out of honor. But because Sturm had dishonored himself, this is where I'm pissing off all of the Dragonlance fans, in their eyes, had dishonored himself, they did not give him the proper burial appropriate for a knight of his stature, or a knight in all.
So when
And,
did this sword go missing?
As far as you know, it was still where it was in Solamnia.
This bandit must have stolen it.
Perhaps.
With a black wizard.
Yeah, that is quite dubious. But, I mean, look at them. They travel with dwarves, elves. It's a motley band, for sure.
Brigands, no doubt.
No doubt. Ill-prepared brigands, too. Look at them. They're almost dead. But should we be going for the sword? I mean, I would agree it would be something definitely we should retrieve for the Brightblades themselves, but...
Alphatian,
Yes, sir.
follow them. Don't be seen. See where they go.
Yes, sir.
Aaron and I will return to the Inn of the White Stag. and determine our next steps on our path to Icewall.
Of course, I will do as you command, Lord Derek. But might I say, before I carry out your orders, that it's not. We have more important matters to attend to with the dragon orbs. I mean,
Right. That's why we will get ready. It'll take us some time to get ready to map out our plan and our course.
I understand.
And Sir Tassel, the Kender down the stairs must have some time to complete the research.
It would be Sir Burford. Aaron.
They call you Sir Alphasian, don't they?
You do. Nobody else does. That's just Derek being a dick to me.
Well, no, it's Sir Derek Crownguard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the full name, yeah, where I would be Sir Alphasian Malkarite or Sir Malkarite.
Anyway.
I just call you Aaron. I never call you Sir. I guess we're all disrespectful in our own way.
Yeah.
Very well. Where shall I meet you? Back at the tavern, I'm assuming?
Yes. Meet
Pacific
back at the
time?
end. It's late, by the way. Now that it
Right.
is like it's close to morning at this point. So follow them, meet us back here, and then we will make sure to keep an eye on them as we make our preparations to go south. If he... I can't be the only one thinking that this half-elf might be the spawn of that elf maiden, Brightblade.
Well, not anymore. I mean, I wasn't. But since you bring it up, I mean,
What are the chances of the
how long
actual-
ago did it happen? I'm sure Malkarite doesn't know, Alphasian doesn't know jack about how long it takes a half-elf kid to grow up.
This was years ago.
Okay.
So everything you know, like you weren't there when this happened. Like he
Right,
died when you were,
Well, elves live a super long time, so
Yeah.
Alphasian, it's got no clue. So, like,
right,
a
but
half
it's also
elf
part
lives
human. So.
half of a super long time. You know, he's like, I don't know.
Yes. But this did happen in the past.
Do you want me to speak with them? Oh, you said no.
No, not yet.
Very well. When do you want me to meet you
Phantom
back here?
says taking out Sturm like that is a ballsy move.
I know, right?
We dropped a ton of boulders on top of Dennis Elvin. That wasn't
Don't apologize for yourself.
nothing wrong with that.
Kill more
That was that,
NPCs.
but this is where we draw the line.
No,
Tannis-
you want to really,
This was a traitor.
yeah. If you really want to rustle some feathers, we need to take out
Tasselhoff.
Kitiara or Tasselhoff.
Yeah. Thank you,
Maybe
Rodney
alright.
Ford, for liking the stream. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Nobody
Thanks,
likes
Rodney.
Tannis. I like Tannis.
Sir Tasselhoff.
Sir Burford. Anyway, yes.
All right. Why do you keep calling him that?
I'm sorry. What?
I know you're tired. I know you're used to saying "sir" in front of somebody's name, but he is a Kender after all, and not a knight.
True. He is a Kender.
I'm leaving to undertake the task given me. And
Just turn and run.
I am heading towards the inn. I'm sure they have our rooms ready. Should we
Yes.
alert the Kender of where we will be when he's finished his research, or just assume he will stay here all night?
Tell him to stay here, and we will meet him back here tomorrow, late afternoon.
Very good. Aaron goes downstairs and tells Sir Tasselhoff to prepare for a long night of study, and we will meet him here tomorrow.
Okay. Alphasian, you follow the group,
Yeah.
and they're being helped by the by members of the guard. Like they're in really bad shape.
Alphasian's not gonna try and hide. He's, for one,
He's not a skulker.
he's not a skulker. He's got no skill with it. That's not happening.
And it's also
So he's-
nighttime, where a lot of people are not out anyway, so they're not.
Yeah, it's like the middle. It's so
Well,
late. It's morning.
Yeah.
Right?
What was
So-
that, Jason?
You're a stranger to them.
Yeah.
There's no
So,
reason to hide.
Although you're
He's just-
clearly wearing the armor of the Knights of Solamnia. Like, there's no mistaking your.
yes, because I'm not allowed to cover up.
I mean, you could take your cloak and wrap it around you. I mean, it's.
Then I would definitely do that. I mean, if it goes against the order to hide, then I wouldn't. But if it's not, then I
You be
definitely would have my.
discreet.
Yeah, I'll have my cloak pulled around me, and I'll just walk slow behind them,
Okay.
following.
Yeah, they're not paying attention to you at all. I mean, like I said, half of them are unconscious. So,
Good.
and the others are like they might as well be, as they're barely standing on their feet. Again, the only ones that seem like they're in halfway decent shape are the elves. You're actually walking in the same direction as Derek and Aaron, for a time, heading over in that direction as you go south in the city.
Now, shit. Okay, never mind. I was
You
gonna do
left
something
first,
really
though, so
I
they're still
did,
behind
but
you,
then that means they're just behind me.
yeah. But
Maybe
again,
told
also
them-
Aaron had to go back down and talk to the Kender, and then so they're waiting. So you've got a couple of minutes head start on them. So they're not right behind you.
Was I ordered not to be seen, or did he say try not to be seen?
Yes, he said try not to be seen.
Okay, so it wasn't an order.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so
And
Alphasian's
if you
gonna
were to look back, you would see the two of them striding down the street as well.
Okay, so they can see me.
Yeah.
Then I'm not gonna.
Well, no,
do
I
it.
mean, you're a good distance ahead of them, though. So, but they
But
be
they
able
would
to
still
you
see.
on the
If I
road,
can
yes.
see them, they
Yes,
can
you'd
see
be
me.
able to see-
Okay,
they'd be able to see
then
you
all
on the
right,
road.
all right, fine. I'm just
But
following.
it's dark and we're humans.
Yeah, there's not good vision.
Yeah, but if I'm a human too. So if I can see you, you guys can see me. So it's okay. Never mind. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. So, but then you pass the road that you would take to go west toward the seawall, which is the western end of the city. The only part of the city that doesn't have a real wall around it, because again, this used to be on the sea. So you continue south, and you see them entering a place called the Inn of the Red Dragon.
I will go to that inn,
Okay.
and I'm going to go inside.
Immediately after them?
Yes.
Okay. So you go in, you're standing there, you see the elves talking to an innkeeper who introduces himself as Warwick. And then they're helping each other sort of get up the stairs to where the rooms are. I'm sorry, there was more than that. There was 4 elves. I forgot about Lorana and Gildanus.
There's a gaggle. What do you call a group of elves? Is that a gaggle?
A murder of elves.
Nah, they're not that cool.
No, a herd.
You took the bait, Katie. All right, I'm gonna go up to the bar. I'll order a drink. And
He says, it's kind of early in the morning, Sir Knight.
early in the morning for what?
The drink.
Is the water palatable here?
Oh, you want water?
No, that's not what I said. I'd like an ale. But if you think that if the water's good enough to drink, then maybe I should forego the ale for the water. But if the water's not,
Oh, for
pleasant
fuck's
enough
sake,
to
he
drink-
pours you an ale,
I'll have an
slams
ale.
it down, and says, on the house. And then walks away.
You never did answer me about the water.
Water's fine.
Excellent. Then he's going to turn around. Now, do they all go upstairs?
Yes.
Well,
And they ordered,
completed-
they booked, rather, a lot of rooms.
I'll go over to the barkeep again. Then he's like, breakfast? Do you serve it?
Aye.
I would like some.
You know your kind is not welcome here in Tarsus, yeah?
Paying customers aren't welcome to you.
Knights of Solamnia.
Oh, you can tell, can you?
The
I
mustache
do have a
is
certain
given
air
away.
about me. Oh, there's
Yeah.
that as well. Would you prefer that I left your establishment?
No, I'm just
I appreciate
warning
the,
you as you walk the streets.
Thank you. I appreciate the warning. I would like some breakfast.
Of course. We got
Perhaps
eggs
I'm a-
and grits.
Oh, yummy. I'll have both.
You got it.
Runny, over easy on the egg so that I can scramble them up into the grits.
They all come in scrambled.
I prefer to do it myself, but okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm not going to put them in the grits, but if you want, I can do that.
That would be excellent. No bacon.
Excellent.
Did you catch that?
No bacon.
Very well. And then he's just going to get that, and he'll sit in the common room, slowly eat his breakfast,
Okay.
sip his ale, and see if anybody else comes down, because he's got a while.
Yeah.
And then he's not going to pull up the hood of his cloak until after he's done eating, of course, because that would just be fucking weird. And then once he's done with that, he'll just sit in the corner and try not to fall asleep too much.
You wait there for hours, and nobody comes down.
And I've got hours to go.
Okay.
Right? Because he said not until we're ready to leave.
Well, he said to meet them back at the other inn, but he
But
just
he
wanted to know
did-
where they went.
Oh, well, then I'll finish my
I mean, you
beverage
could
and I'll
wait
go-
there all day if you
No.
want, but you probably
No, I got to follow my orders.
Yeah.
I'll go back, then I'll go back to the other end.
Okay. You go back to the inn. You meet up with Aaron. The innkeeper says that the other knights went up to. Sorry, this music is not going to work for this. Says that the other knights went up to their rooms, or their room. I guess you're probably all just splitting a room.
Yeah, the way knights do.
No, the Lorana and Gil took one, and
No,
me
this
and-
is a different. These are different.
Oh, it's a
people.
different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They weren't there with you. These are not
Gotcha.
your friends. Don't let them.
Okay.
Don't let them fool you.
Yet.
Okay. Okay.
Yet.
That's true. Me yet.
Might be.
Don't let Adam bully you into being mean to other characters. All right, then he'll just go upstairs.
Okay. As you're heading upstairs, you notice two elves.
God, they're all over the place.
Yeah. Both with dark hair. One long and straight. The other sort of a little more wavy and short. Sort of speaking softly at a table off in the corner, and you didn't really realize until you went up toward the stairs, so you didn't see them there.
Mm-hmm.
And you overhear them talking about the Minotaur that you met earlier that evening, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And some other elf, and hoping that they'll be able to help. And that's really all you can make out. And then after a bit, the
I'll
elf,
bend down to tie my shoe.
not at all suspicious with your steel boot. But you do that. Nobody's really they're not paying attention to you anyway. Then the one with the short hair, or the shorter hair, Lee, gets up from the table and says, "Just be careful, Your Majesty." And
Bling.
hurries out.
Elven Majesty.
Okay.
Then I'll go up to the room. because yeah.
All right. So with that, we're a little bit early, but we're going to take a quick break before we get into the next part, because otherwise we're going to start something we're not going to be able to finish in 15
And
minutes.
we're going to, when we come back, we will start the giveaway.
Why don't you talk about the giveaway? Why don't you entice them, whet their appetites?
We will be giving away a $10 gift certificate to Drive Through RPG, which you can spend on anything there that you wish. You do need to have an account, which if you do not have an account on RPG, it's super easy to set up. And then what you'll do, if you are the lucky winner, is just give us your email address that is attached to your account, and it will be a payment option for you when you check out. You do have to be present when we draw the winner to win. If you're not here, we just draw another name. Somebody's going to win it.
You need to watch the stream to win the cash.
The cash.
Don't forget. Loon turn. I'm putting my money on you, baby. I think you can do it tonight.
That's true. It could happen.
That's right.
I mean, it's got to happen eventually.
I don't know
How
that
many
that's
people
true.
did we have to skip over last time?
It was like 15 people, and we still didn't get to Loon turn.
I know. Because they weren't here, because they didn't stick around to the end of the
Stick around to the end.
The first three we pulled weren't here. The fourth one we pulled was somebody else. It was like a first-time subscriber too.
Yeah.
Had one ticket, whereas Lunton he gets 4.
Well, you know what? Hopefully, we'll entice that first-time watcher and listener to come back. And with that, I'd like you all to come back in just a couple of minutes as we take a little bit of a break. I feel like I need to get a nap in so I can power through the second half of this thing. I don't really like hot drinks.
You are so weird.
I like hot
Drink a
sake.
cold kombucha.
I don't have any kombucha. I just drink water mostly nowadays because I'm down 71 pounds though, guys.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Good for you.
Yeah, we do.
Starting to look sick.
Look at you. You're wasting away to normal.
Yeah. I'm almost back to what you know me as, Kemchan.
Live.
You were beautiful the first time I met you, Adam.
You found me beautiful
anybody...
once. Oh, baby, you got real ugly. What's that from, anyway?
Oh, that's Army of Darkness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And with that,
it's Ash.
We will be right back, folks. What's my secret? I don't eat or drink anywhere near as much as I did, and I exercise a little bit.
See, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
All right.
Complete me, Adam. You're right. There we go.
That was sweet.
There it is.
It's always sweet when Will turns into a teenage girl. We'll be back.
superhero tastes are more aligned.
And with that, we are back. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Wicked Studios presents Dragonlance: Dragons of Ice Part 2. And we have a drawing now that you can enter. So now, Loonturn, you got a little ahead of yourself before. Now's your chance to get back in it. You got to be in it to win it. And remember, don't even bother entering if you're going to just wander off, because you're not going to win.
No, enter, because then we can say, you could have won.
Wow.
And we'll talk shit.
Wow,
behind your back.
Will.
Yeah, man.
This is how you treat our viewers.
Only the ones that wander
Which is
off.
yet still better than how you treat them.
Which is weird. Why we have so much enmity toward you guys? You all seem really nice. I don't know what our problem is with you.
I think it's just
They
you.
wander off. That's the problem.
They do tend to wander off. Anyway, remember, you have to watch the stream to win the cash. And don't forget it. So, I'm going to take a moment here. We have the like, follow, and subscribe screen up. So check us out. Obviously, if you're on Twitch, you know where to find us. If you're not on Twitch, go to Wicked Studios LLC. On YouTube, that's Mr. Adam PL, MRATOMPL. Facebook is at Giant Stomp, because Will thinks he stomps giants, I suppose. And somebody else had Wicked Studios already.
They already did, yeah. well, yeah,
Jerks.
it is.
And then also, again, we are on podcast. Our first 19 episodes are up. I try to put at least a couple up every week until we catch up. And then they will be on probably that Monday or Tuesday following the stream. But go just anywhere you go to listen to podcasts. It's just search for Dragonlance Chronicles and we will come up. And with that...
Hold on. If you're not following us already and watching, you should. Even it says that we're actually at 629 from our 650 goal of followers. And if you're not subscribed, if you subscribe, you get 4 tickets to win instead of just one measly little ticket.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
Now, on similar note, go to YouTube/Mr. Adam PL and subscribe there as well, because I'm like 4 subscribers away to like 400. Like, come on, guys.
4? I should probably go and subscribe.
What, you asshole?
Of course I'm
shouldn't.
subscribed.
I don't want you then.
I'm already there. You can't keep me out.
I that's a good question. Could I? Probably not. So anyway, guys, check us out on all of our things. If you're on Twitch on the computer, scroll down. Will has a bunch of stuff on there as well. He's got shirts. We've got Wicked Studio shirts. I'm wearing one now.
Yeah, that's the white. The white one looks really good. I think
This
the
is
white
gray.
one's the best.
It's a light gray.
Same diff.
It's kind of washed out a little bit.
You're
I wear
washed
them.
out.
You know what? Screw you. And Jadek dies, and so does Gorell. And so does Gorell. Sorry, I
No,
love
everybody
to.
loves Corral. You can't kill
Yeah,
him.
you can't go Corral. I mean,
All right, we'll just get somebody else to
Everybody's
play him.
undecided about Jadek.
I mean, it would be totally believable if the big Minotaur died because everybody beats him. I mean,
Ah, wow. Anyway, let's get back.
He's got to get some armor.
yeah.
So anyway, and that was begging. I was begging you to go to my fucking YouTube page and hit the fucking subscribe button.
Begging.
Now I'm going to be belligerent about it, Citterin. That's what you get. You got begging or belligerent. My only 2 levels.
Yeah, there's no in
True.
between with this guy.
I've known Adam for a while. Those are the best he's got.
Thank you, Jason, for listening to me and subscribing on YouTube. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Anyway, guys, back to the action. We find ourselves in... I don't like that. We find ourselves... I'm talking about music you guys can't hear, sorry, but those of you at home can. We find ourselves in the frozen plains outside of Tarsus. I'm just going to unsubscribe.
You go with your bets. That
Okay, that was funny.
was good.
Jadek, you are kneeling in the snow, holding your friends Kaylani in one hand and Karani in the other. Kaylani just screamed out in pain, collapsed. You picked her up. She opened her eyes for a second and said, "Zarek is dead too," and then passed out again. Kaylani,
Trying to like shake her awake.
covered in blood. You tried as much as you could to using some of the snow at your disposal, which there is plenty, to clean off some of the blood. She does not appear to be breathing. Thank you, Sidorin, for cheering 500 bits. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
You guys get an inspiration point for that, too.
Woohoo!
So thank you, Sidorin.
And I was muted, so hold on. Huzzah! Okay.
I expected better.
Yeah, me too.
So only one is not breathing. Only which was it? Kaylani's not breathing.
Kairani is not breathing.
Karani's not breathing. Okay. So place Kalani down gently. Karani, I'm trying to like. Trying to like compress her chest and try to get some air in the lungs.
Roll a medicine check.
Ooh, 9.
No, it doesn't seem to be working.
Searching through Kaylani's pouch to see if there's like anything I might recognize to help her out. Like, cause she's definitely, cause this is like part of why they've got together. Like, Kaylani's been able to help Jadek through like hangovers, cuts, bruises, and all that kind of stuff by pulling stuff out of that pouch.
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
11.
I mean, you find some herbs,
Nothing.
some dried
Nice.
flowers. I mean, you never really paid much attention, and
Right.
the healing that she did to you, you were really unconscious when that happened. So
Right.
it's, you
can
don't
I
know how
find,
she
like,
did it or what
anything-
she used.
Anything with like a scent, like it can maybe make up Kalani and then like be like.
I mean, there's definitely some stinky
just,
shit in
just
here.
not breathing.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, you could
so I'm
find
trying to,
something like a
wave
strong.
something under her nose. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you find a particularly pungent bit of herbs and like sort of like rub it up against her like top lip so it's right there. Kaylani, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Nice.
Slowly, you open your eyes. Full memory of everything that happened. You look up and you see the Minotaur holding you in one arm, cradling you like a small child. Like he's that big. And you look over and you see your sister.
Come on, she's not breathing. She's not breathing. You gotta help. I don't know what to do. I'm like shaking you.
So, Kaylani looks at Jadek and kind of like sits herself up in the snow like touches her face, looks up at Jadek, and says, "She's gone."
No. Can't. No. Come on, you have to be able to do something for her.
She looks.
And I like hand you your pouch of herbs.
She looks at she looks up at Jadek and says, "She's at peace now."
Jadek's having a hard time like accepting this. He's like no.
How far are we away from Tarsus, Adam?
You can see it as like a speck on the horizon in the distance. You figure it'll take you another couple of days.
Okay. So Kitlani goes over to Jadek and puts her hand on the side of his like big snouty face and says,
That used to be my pet name for Kemchan back in the day. Old snouty face.
That's why I just had to goatee.
Yeah.
Don't make that face, Katie. I see that.
So she touches his big snouty face, and and just looks at him with these like endearing eyes, and says, "Everything happened so quickly, but she's not in pain anymore, and I think." Zane's not in pain anymore either. He was so angry and so sad, but he's okay now. I don't know why, but this had to happen.
And you still don't know who Zane is, by the way, besides just some elf.
Yep.
Right.
That he mentioned,
right.
but last time.
Like, well, I don't know who Zane is, but this I can't know. And he goes back to the Karani's body and just tries to wake her up.
Okay, what are you gonna do to try to wake her up?
I don't like try to shake it. He's gonna try the same herbs that woke up Kalani and try to like rub it on her lip and try to get her to breathe in,
Okay.
to smell it.
Roll another medicine check. No.
Pretty much what I expected.
So as you're doing this, Kaylani is like unfastening her cloak and stretching it out on the snow next to Karani, and says to Jadek, help me wrap her in the cloak. And Kaylani is not the happy-go-lucky that you're used to seeing her, but resigned peace, starkly contrasting the anguished pain that she felt minutes ago.
Okay, so Jadek like calms down a little bit and he knows that you know more than he does about this, so he's kind of like starting to accept it. Like, okay, He takes her body and puts it into, on the cloak. Wraps her up in it.
So, Adam, outside of Tarsus, she's gonna find the most wooded area,
Okay.
even if it's not very
You
prolific.
could find a place with some trees. Yeah, a little.
Yeah, that's kind of what she's looking for. And
Okay.
she sort of like scans the horizon for that, and then sees like the copse of trees, and looks like laser focused right at it, and then to Jadek, and says, "Would you carry her?"
Of course.
And then just like smiles at you with that youthful, innocent smile that she gives you, and then turns and just starts walking, very determined and with purpose. Way different than you've seen her walk anywhere else. Like, she's a wanderer. She's a oh, flowers, oh, pretty, oh, a butterfly, and she's walking laser focused right to this copse of trees.
Okay. Kind of impressed with that. Like, seeing that focus in her, but at the same time knowing that's not her usual self. Jadek, like, nods, takes Karani's body very carefully, and follows.
So Kaylani's not gonna stop walking until she gets there. Like, not sleep. Even if it's more than a day away, she's just gonna walk straight towards it.
Towards the trees, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
It'll take a number of hours, but not a full day. As you're walking, Jadek, roll me a perception check.
Pretty good perception. 17.
It is a good perception. In the distance, as you're walking, I mean, you keep looking at Kaylani, just making a beeline to this little area of trees, and you keep looking down at Karani, her, just this small elven body in your arms, and you just sort of look away for a moment, just to try to get your bearings and just get your head out of this moment for just a second. And you see a creature in the distance toward Tarsus, but further to the east by a few miles. And it lands. It's flying, and it lands. And you can see, even though it's far, because again, I mean, this is like a speck on the horizon. It's a cold, dreary, gray day, and everything kind of blends in together the further away you go. And when the wind blows, it blows the snow that's on the ground up, but it looks like a griffin. And two humanoid creatures get off of this back. Off of the griffin's back.
Okay. I mean, I don't think he would say anything, cause since it's so far away, he's not. But he definitely is like, oh, that's strange.
One looks like a solemn night.
No, it's not you.
Biting a griffin?
Yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah, man.
That's right. So anyway, you see that in the distance.
Okay. You'll, like, mentally make a note of that. Like, oh, that's not something you see every day.
All right, you guys do make it to the little grove of trees.
So once Kaylani gets there, she immediately goes to work, and at the base of a tree, she clears. She uses her cantrips, Druidcraft, Shape Water, and Gust, to clear the snow away from the ground.
Okay.
And then
Jadek, what you see is Kaylani just sort of, walks over and, just stands in sort of the center of this little outcropping of trees, and just sort of just puts her hands out. And when she does, this huge gust of wind blows. And unlike the other wind that you've seen and felt as you've been traveling here has been ice cold, this is warm. It feels like, you're on the shores of Urgoth in the summertime, or on the ship out at sea.
To which Jadek really almost appreciates from all this cold.
Absolutely, it feels good, and and it swirls around Kaylani, and her hair is blowing. Her her cloak is blowing behind her and around her and whipping around, and you see the snow that's surrounding her just melt away and disappear.
So once the ground is clear, she looks over at Jadek and smiles and says, "This is where she belongs now."
Okay. Jadek walks over and looks at her and be like, "This is where you want me to put her down?"
She just nods.
Okay. He kneels, places Karani's body very gently, and backs up.
So she kind of takes her staff and whispers something to it, puts it down on the ground, and the leaves and the matted down grass all around the body starts to just like perk up, and then flowers and roots and brambles start to grow up over around Karani's body and create like a real weave of natural foliage covering her, and it hugs the body tightly that you can almost see. You can see the outline, but you can almost even see the details of Karani's face and her hands, her bow, the woven belt that she had. After a few minutes, Kalani looks up at the tree that she's at the base of and goes and puts her hand on it. And turns and looks to Jadek and says, I need to stay here for a while.
Of course. Yeah, of course. He totally understands. And just says, I really and without trying to sound too sentimental, he's like, I really have taken a liking to the both of you. And if you still need my help, I will still help you. And
she looks right at Jadek and says, she knows how much you loved her. And she says to him, you're my best friend. And then turns back to the tree.
Chadwick kind of nods and smiles a little bit and just kind of slowly backs away and starts to walk out of the grove.
And as you do that, the clouds in this area, just seemingly just above you, slowly part. Thank you, Phantom, for cheering 200. And thanks to Will to gifting a bunch of subs to people, which are going to pop up endlessly that I'm going to not read out. There they go. Although Snowbound has got a perfect Twitch handle here for this episode. So when you're backing out, you see the clouds slowly drifting apart. A golden hue surrounding it, and as they move apart, you just this beam of sunlight just comes down, and sort of looks like it's just gently caressing Kaylani as she stands over the body of her sister.
Jadek's going to leave her, let her do her thing, and kind of go back to the edge of the woods and look out towards where he saw that griffin landing. He's going to try to preoccupy himself.
Yeah.
Just kind of look out and see if he could see what's going on out that way.
It looks like they're setting up a camp. Shortly afterward, the griffin flies off, leaving the two figures out on their own.
Okay. He's just kind of like checking to see that they're not a threat. They're not heading over this way. Just
Doesn't seem to be. Do me a favor, too. Roll a history check.
five.
Yeah. There's something about the griffin that seems vaguely familiar, but you never really paid much attention in history class.
Land mammals.
Although you have a +1 to your history, so you're naturally good at it, I guess. But in this case,
In this case, no, I'm good with sea creatures.
yeah, exactly. So they, you can see a small fire ignite as they set up camp there.
Did Adam freeze?
You guys,
No,
think
you
it-
froze.
yeah, I don't know.
I froze?
Yeah, you froze.
Yeah, so stop blaming it on me, Jason.
Sorry.
I think you froze, Adam.
Shut up, Will. All right, what do you want to do?
I'm basically just gonna wait for her. Honestly, I'm not like really gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna kind of make sure we're not gonna be disturbed. Maybe look around, walk a little bit, kind of around. I mean, how big is this outcropping of trees? Can I walk around it?
Sure, yeah, easily, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. Just kind of scan the perimeter, make sure she's not disturbed.
Okay.
She's just to give a little bit of context. She's here for the rest of this day, 8 full hours.
So then I'm probably gonna after maybe like an hour passes, I'm probably going to be like, okay, we're going to be here a while. I'm going to like gather some firewood, try to make like a little bit of a shelter.
Sure.
So
Yeah, and
she's
go ahead.
I was just,
Kaylani
there's
is
trees,
like,
so I can probably like.
Yeah, it's
Make
definitely
something.
easier
Yeah.
here than it has been. Sure.
Kaylani is clearly doing something, but you have no real idea what.
Sure.
Your primitive mind can't understand all the things
I don't know
that
your
Kaylani's
magic talk,
doing.
your magic speak.
So you are able to set up a camp fairly close to where Kaylani is, but with giving her enough space.
Right. And a little bit into the woods, so like it's not seen too well from the outside. Trying to keep our privacy.
Yeah. Again, it's not much of a woods. It's
Right.
it's it's really some trees.
Okay.
There's not a lot of this is a pretty big open expanse here in this area.
Right.
But yeah, you're able to do that easily enough.
And probably just sit by the fire, and wait for her sharpening my sword.
Okay.
Gotta keep it sharp.
Roll me another perception check. 14.
14.
Okay, good. After a few hours, you notice as you look over, because you're like, you know what? I haven't checked on those elves in a while. Or whoever those humanoids were, rather. I might have given it away, guys. But I think I covered it so smoothly that I don't know. Did I pray enough to the god of smooth, otherwise known as KD? Is that...
Why would elves be riding a House Malkarite griffin? That'll make no sense.
That is weird. Yeah, you sell them.
Yeah, of course.
They're branded House Malkarite.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, nice griffin. Is that a House Malkarite? Why, yes, it is.
It is. It's not your dad's Malkarite griffin.
It's not your dad's Malkarite. No, it's not. No, indeed, it's not. And you look around, and the fire is out.
Mm.
You can still see some of the smoke drifting up. You look around because they're not there, like they're gone. And as you look around, you see coming at you from sort of like looped around a little bit, but coming toward you are two humanoid figures that you can now tell are elves because they're closer. How about that? Good enough.
There you go. They look long and lean,
Yeah.
pointy ears. Okay. So they're like obviously coming towards us.
They're trying to be stealthy, but in this, they were hoping you were going to continue to not pay attention, really.
Right.
But there's not a lot of place for them to hide. So.
Okay. So I'm like, okay. I'm definitely gonna at least go over to Kaylani and be like, I think we're gonna have company soon. It
Adam,
looks
how
like we're
much-
gonna have company soon.
How much time has passed since they started?
Since this started, between 4 and 5, I'd say.
Okay. So,
Hours.
yep. Kaylani just says, "Well, I'm not finished."
Oh, okay. How much more time do you need? Because there's two of them. They definitely look like elves.
Jadek's afraid
And
of
you just-
getting into a fight.
Like, well, he doesn't want to like have
Get your
her-
hammer ready, Jadek. Oh, wait a
They're
minute.
both
wait a minute.
twirling scimitars. It's one breathes fire.
She says, "I need a few hours."
Okay, and like with that, he's just like, all right, and he runs out to the edge, and he'll pull his scimitar out, load up the hand bow, the hand crossbow, and just be like, all right, bring it.
So what? All right. So what? You're gonna just walk toward them, or are you gonna stay where you
No,
are?
no, I'm gonna like stand my ground. I'm gonna like run out, like let's say 50 yards
Okay.
distance from the little outcropping of woods, and be like, all right, and stand my ground, like, bring it.
All
I
right.
don't know what's going on, but I don't like the look of it.
When they see that, they stop for a second, and you can see them turn to each other and talk, and then continue toward you. As they get closer,
Are they running at me?
no, they're walking briskly, but they're not running at you.
Okay.
They're you don't see any weapons drawn,
Mm.
and you can tell that they're both female elves. Dark hair. One is wearing a. Obviously, they're both dressed for the weather. Furs and warm clothing. One is dressed like a fighter. Like this is somebody who is somebody who's been in a fight or two. Walks very confidently. Has a sword strapped to her hip. And the other walks like one of the Palanthas nobles. Wearing a long, thick gown underneath her furs, long black hair. She's definitely dressed much better and nicer than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And you imagine that just from your experience, and you've been around and seen a lot of people, that this may be some sort of noble and her bodyguard.
Okay.
Is what it kind of appears to be, anyway.
All right. So seeing that, I like relax my stance a little bit. I put away the crossbow and just like, okay, so why are you approaching me? I'll ask.
We mean you no harm. And it kind of seems funny because you're this big, hulking minotaur. You've got a scimitar in one hand, a crossbow in the other. The person talking is the one with the longer hair and the fine dress. And she doesn't even seem to have a weapon on her.
Right.
Are you part of the dragon armies?
And with that, I kind of like, no. I'm here with my own companions, one of which is passed. Her sister is burying her, and I point to the outcropping. And I was just worried you were going to interrupt her funeral rites.
And with that, you see the fighter type, whose hand had been resting at her, on the hilt of her sword, just relax a little bit. And she says, I'm sorry to ask this. How much would it cost to procure your services?
And I'm like, I shake my head, and at this point, my scimitar is still in my hand. I put the tip down on the ground and just kind of rest my hand on it, realizing like they're not a threat, but still having it out. I'm like, no, my services is bound to the remaining, and I'll say this purposefully, the remaining elf.
An elf?
Yes, I was traveling with two. One is passed. Her sister is burying her as we speak.
May we speak with them?
Well, like I said, she's in the middle of burying her sister, and she is one of... And he kind of pauses. She is a child of nature, and she has her... And he's really trying not to say the wrong thing here.
Mm-hmm.
She has her ways, and she needs time to finish what she's doing. So, if you're willing to wait, I'm willing to let you talk to her, since you are obviously of the same race.
Do you speak Elven? Or Elvish?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, well they... the one who has been speaking turns to the other, says something in Elvish, and then the other replies. And they nod their heads. But they look a little surprised when you described Kaylani that way. And then she says, "Look, I'll be blunt. I don't have a lot of time. My homeland is in danger. I can pay you and your companion any price. There is no price that is too high for your help."
And at which one eyebrow on Jadek's face. And he's like, "You're welcome to wait with me by the fire, but I must insist you wait until she's finished."
Of course, I would not dream to interrupt the burial rituals. This elf friend of yours, where is she from?
And he kind of like, the woods. I was like, I really couldn't tell you.
The woods?
Yeah.
How did you meet?
We met, and then he pauses. He's like, "I'm sorry. What are your names?"
My apologies. I am Elhana Starbreeze. This is my companion, Serinda.
And he bows. He's like, "Jadek." And he now sheathes his sword. He starts walking towards the campfire. And he basically brings them up to date where they met, this sailing over on the Stormborn, the battle, and then how he woke up and found out lost his ship, his crew, most of his crew, and his connection to the two.
Interesting. Have you been inside of Tarsus yet? That is where we are headed.
No, not yet.
So you don't know if it is overrun by the dragon armies?
Not that I'm aware of, no. I mean, what was the port we came into? Was
Riggit.
That wasn't Tarsus.
No, that was
Riggit.
Riggit. Yeah.
I tell them about Riggit, that the dragon armies are there.
Yes. They're everywhere, including my homeland. Which is why I need help.
They're definitely making a push for all the lands, apparently.
I, of course, will give your friend time to mourn. But even if you do decide to help, we will need more. If you accompany me into Tarsus, I will pay you. You can name a fair price. I can pay in steel. And if you help me find others like yourself, mercenaries, she's making a rash judgment on you right there, and come with us, I can pay you more.
And he's like, maybe I wasn't clear. I have a ship. I have my own ship.
Your ship won't do you very much good out here in...
My point is, I have my own... my own path. I'm not a mere mercenary. I'm willing to help for payment, sure. But ultimately, my plan is to get back to my ship. And as it looks, everywhere is being overrun by these dragon armies, from what I hear. From where I've been, we fought dragon armies on ships. There were many of their ships in dock. They seem to be everywhere in, what was it, Riggit?
Riggit, yeah.
Look. And if your home has been taken over, who's to say they're not in Tarsus already? We may be probably walking into a battle without knowing it. I'll help you get there. Depending on how much you're willing to pay, I might even help you get your little army together. But after that, I have my own plans.
Understood, but let me be more clear. When I misspoke when I said the dragon armies, it made it seem like there was an army in my homeland. There is not. That said, my people are in danger. My father, the Speaker of the Stars, is in danger. And I cannot help him or my people alone. At that, the one that she called Serinda says something in Elvish, and it's kind of like it's a sharp tone, and immediately Alhana just snaps her head and looks at her, and Serinda then sort of looks down and quiets down. Did you tell her? I'm sorry. Did you tell her about what happened to your ship, or did you go into those details, or no?
Not great details. He just kind of like, I had a ship, I lost it, I intend on getting it back. I have what's left of my crew is gathering more crew, and my intention is to get Kailani to Tarsus, get her settled, and then get back to my crew.
I can pay for a new ship.
And he kind of chuckles. He's like, no, you don't understand. When I say my ship, I mean I designed it. I built it. It's my ship. And it's drifting out there. It's still salvageable. It's my ship.
Fine. How are you going to get to it?
I'll get to it. He's just kind of like half-sighter. I'll get to it. I'm not worried about that.
No one's ever gotten to anything like I'm gonna get to that ship.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm pretty sure a boat's gonna be involved.
Right. There'll be a stealing of a boat involved, I'm sure. And he's kind of like, all right, fine. I haven't thought of it that way, but I'm gonna get there.
I can help you in any way that you need monetarily. If you help me. If you can't, I understand. I will find others in Tarsus, hopefully.
And Jadek's like, any kind of gestures to the middle over there. It's like, Kaylani is. I am bound to Kaylani if she decides that it is worth helping you, then I will agree to help. So when she's done, you can talk to her, and if she thinks your cause is worthy, then I'll be willing to go with her to help you.
Very well.
For a fair price.
Of course. Kaylani, time passes and you're at your 8 hours.
So after 8 hours, you look over and you see Kaylani kind of reaches up to the tree that she's been sitting by, and the tree kind of reaches down towards her. It looks far more anthropomorphized than it did at the beginning of this. And they seem to have a conversation. And then the tree kind of like, you get the impression that the tree is now like it kind of like stands where it is as a sentinel. And she hugs it and then bends down to the casket of brambles on her sister and whispers something as she touches the forehead, where the forehead would be, and then looks up at Jadek and walks over to you, and she says, "Who are your friends?"
So Jadek, introduces the two, and then kind of explains the situation to her.
Is the name familiar to Kaylani?
The name itself isn't, but when she mentions that she's the daughter of the Speaker of the Stars, you know that she is, or must be, at least, princess of the Sylvanisty elves. But you wouldn't know much more than that from where you're from.
She says, "Well, what kind of trouble is your father in?" And you, Kemchan, you notice that Kaylani's countenance is... she's got a weariness to her voice, as if the last 2 days are kind of catching up to her physically. But that brightness that was gone for all the day is starting to return.
Okay.
She says, "Dire, difficult to explain. You're Kaganesti," which is more of a statement than a question.
She says, "Your clothes are fancy."
Yes, thank you. What brings you here?
Jadek. His
No,
boat.
He says that you brought him.
Well, we were on his boat.
Yes, why here?
Oh, well, this is where we're going to meet him.
Meet whom?
Zane.
And who is Zane to you?
He's an elf.
A Kaganesti like yourself?
No, different.
Qualinesti, then?
He's not like any other elf.
I've noticed you use the old magic. It's very impressive.
Yes. She's not being disrespectful, but she's also like the customs are very, very different. So she understands this is like a princess, but kind of doesn't care. And she's not being rude, but she's just being aloof.
And you can tell that she, and Jadek, you can see this too, that she is going out of her way to be nice, even though it doesn't seem like it. But is clearly looking down on this elf, and just the way that she says Kaganesti, it's that in itself is a slight in her mind.
Right.
But at the same time, she's being as polite about it as she can because she needs the help.
So she, Kailani says, we have to wait a few days until Zane gets here. Then I have to see him. After that, we can help you.
Very good.
Kind of, and at that, Jada kind of leans over to Kailani. He's like, "Sure, that's a good idea."
I don't know. Do you think it's a good idea?
I don't know. I mean, I trust you. I'll trust what you say and what you think about this, but the way she's talking to you, I'm not liking it.
Well, everybody kind of talks to me that way.
Yeah, I don't
Except
like
you.
it. And he kind of puts his arm around her and kind of like gives it, like hugs her a little bit. If they're not, and again, this is just between the two of them. He's whispering, like, well, if they're not willing to wait, they say they're in a big rush. And I know that your whole thing is this other Zarek person. So if they say they won't wait, what do you want to do?
Well, if they say they won't wait, then we won't help them.
Okay, good. And then he's like, that's all I wanted to know. And he kind of sits up now. He's like, so you heard we're waiting for someone. Are you willing to wait?
Are you meeting this someone, this Zane character, in Tarsus?
That's where he'll be.
Good. Then we will accompany you there.
I'm not going there yet.
In the morning, we leave for Tarsus. If you meet us at the gates, if you don't want to come with us in the morning, we will pay for your lodging. One way or the other, we will find help, and we will pay handsomely for that help. You seem capable, both of you. You with the sword and you with the old magic. I would like your help.
We would like to help you, but Jadek needs to get back to his ship. I'm not finished here with my... And so, Kailani's tone adopts a much more Kairani-like tone when she says this, like very to the point, very business. And she looks, well, we would like to help you, but Jadek needs to get back to his ship, and I'm not finished with my sister, plus we're waiting for Zane. So when that happens, we can help you. After that, then we'll have our discussions. And then she just turns away and walks right back towards where Kairani is laying.
And Jadek looks at the two of them and goes, "And there you have it."
And then Alhana will turn to you and say, I understand that you feel like you have the upper hand on me as I need help, and I am outright in saying that. But regardless of whether you help me or not, please understand that the longer you wait to do anything, the more danger you are in. There is nowhere left safe on Kryn. They have gotten to the Sylvanesti Kingdom. They will get to you and your ship and your friend, and the two of you alone will be helpless to stop them.
And Jadek looks at her and he kind of smiles and he's like, "Listen, I don't want to make it sound like we're brushing you off. We're not. She's obviously willing to help you, but we have things to do first. We're going to Tarsus for our own reason. And when we're finished with that, it sounds like we'll be more than willing to help you. If you're still there, and then we can follow."
Understood, and please don't misunderstand me. My point is to try to help. It doesn't feel like you completely understand the severity of the situation that all of Kryn finds itself. These are armies of darkness that are conquering our lands. You told me yourself that your ship was under siege by these forces.
Jadek nods. He's like, "Okay, no, I understand what you're saying."
And now you are also, keep in mind, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, a Minotaur in lands that doesn't look kindly upon those of your race.
And
You
to this
need
Jadek
need as much help as I do. You just don't know it yet.
And to this, Jadek kind of is like, "Listen, me and my people have been dealing any kind of points in general to the two of them. Have been dealing with what people think of us for as long as we've been around. That's nothing new." And then he realized he's sounding like threatening, and he kind of backs up and he's like, "We're willing to help. When we catch up to you, we'll help. We just have our own thing to finish first.
I understand.
And we can't, unfortunately, rush that. Who knows? Maybe what we're actually going to be doing will be helping."
I hope for your sake it is. And mine. And that of my peoples. And with that, we cut to Tarsus. The dragons attack the city. Swarms of draconian forces enter, slaughtering those who guard the walls and the gates. It's not even a fight. The Innfellows have made their way out of the Inn of the Red Dragon after days to where they discovered some knights who were looking for something called a dragon orb, a magical item that is rumored to destroy dragons. Zarek was kidnapped and then aided in his escape by his friends, some of them at any rate. Kaylani and Jadek. While you were at the gate of Tarsus, the guards were giving you a hard time, particularly Jadek, about coming in. And during a bit of an argument, Alhana and...
Well, as I just want to say, like, as they were coming up to Tarsus, Jadek would have pulled his hood up, knowing what to expect, and like pulled his cloak.
As they got close to... I mean, there's no way for you to hide...
Those horns.
Yeah. Well, he's got one and a half horns, but yeah.
Yeah, the cloak would have kind of like... Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but once you get close enough to them where that you'd have to pass through the gate, they'd be able to see you. Like, you'd be able to get there closely enough. I mean, easily enough, but then they stop. And Alhana then appears, talks to them, gives them some coin, and you enter the city. She brings you to the Inn of the White Stag, where she's already procured rooms for you, figuring that you would be here. She tells you that she has gone to the governor to try to enlist the help of the city of Tarsus and its militia. But it appears that the governor is in league with the Draconian forces. She has asked you to keep an eye out for other adventurer type, mercenary type, to aid if you're still willing. You notice that she is alone now, and Serinda is not with her.
Okay.
When you ask, inquire about that, she merely states that she is doing her part of the mission and leaves it at that.
Okay.
Odie. You have been following this contingent of Draconian forces. For the most part, and depending if who you encounter or don't, you easily can blend in. You can tell when as the army gets there that it's a really uncoordinated attack, and somebody of your military background just scoffs at Toad's imbecilic take on what taking a city means. That said, there are flights of red dragons with him. And the red dragons, are always out for blood. Anytime that they can destroy something and get into some sort of fight, or in this case massacre, they're all for it. Some of the other dragons are a little bit different. The blues typically are more aligned with that of the human officers, which most of the Draconians are. And congratulations to Queen Tiamat for winning the drawing. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
The blues, though, they seem to actually like the humans, and work very well with them. The greens will fight, but only if they're backed into a corner. They will typically use their brains to trick what they consider the weaker races. And the whites are usually pretty dumb. The white dragon forces have been to the south. They haven't really accomplished much of anything, the forces in general. the Dragon High Lord down in the south, the White Dragon High Lord is. Rumor is he's an elf, which is interesting. But other than that, he keeps to himself. None of the other High Lords, from what you've heard, like him or give him any sort of respect. The Black Dragon armies and the Black Dragons are smaller, but just cruel. And then the Reds. The Reds will listen to the humans in charge, I'll call them, only as long as it suits their purpose. And if they get bored, they do what you're seeing here, which is just complete and utter destruction. So you are outside of the city as this starts. You know how this is going to go. This is going to be Solace, but on a much bigger scale. What would you like to do?
How far along is this after what just happened with the dragon?
It's about a week and a half. Not
okay.
a terribly long period of time. It's maybe
Right.
2 weeks tops. I don't remember
Okay,
exactly how
so-
the timing was. But it's not long.
Sure. So, so he has a pretty good idea of he could have formed. He I'm assuming would have known that this was the plan.
Yeah, you knew that, and you heard Toad say that they were going to commence on this attack on Tarsus. This was something that Verminard had been talking about. His goal, like all of the major cities, is to just take them over. But now Viewmaster Toad is in charge, and frankly, he is an idiot. Like, he's not even stupid enough to be cruel. Like, he's just like, and he, you can see too, just by the way that the dragons are attacking, and the draconians and goblins are going in, that there's no order. This is just chaos and wanton destruction.
Sure. So he doesn't have any intention of taking out Toad because he knows Toad is an idiot. But he'll try to be stealthy and kind of try to take out some of the goblins or the draconians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Roll a stealth check first. $14. All right. Now, these guys are not good at. That's an 11, so they would have missed anyway. But yeah, you're able to come up from behind a group of goblins that you can see are a bit concerned about going into the city while the dragons are attacking. But they're not paying attention to you, and you can if you want to attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, wait. Before I do that, I just want to make this clear. I want to clear this up rather. They're also like underlings, like they're soldiers too, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Right.
Great, yeah, he'll attack.
All right, so I'm gonna put you on a map.
Cool.
And where's the right map? Oh, here we go. And let me get rid of this. Will, why don't you tell the good folks at home what else happens here on Wicked Studios?
Why, I would be delighted to, madam. Every Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Can you talk a
Eastern
little more
Excuse
into
me.
the microphone?
Into the mic.
You're looking at the mic, but yet it's not picking up your voice.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't muted. Okay, cool.
Put
Well,
yourself,
I was
KD,
trying
up
to be
in
all
here.
sultry with my voice. But anyway, every Wednesday,
Sultry.
I couldn't think of another word. You put me on the spot.
Sorry, go ahead.
Every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Greyhawk Adventures, which is currently in the streets of Lukesh in Greyhawk. See, I'm terrible at this. I just need you, Adam. Where I think we're on episode 5 of that adventure, where we are. Well, I shouldn't say we. The characters are all part of the City Watch. We have constables, and then we have inspectors, and we go back and forth between the two as the constables turn up the dirt and the inspectors go and investigate the dastardly deeds of the underworld of Lukesh. So we got that going on. If you'd like more Greyhawk, you could always go over to the Greyhawk Companion, which is my blog, where I write all kinds of Greyhawk stuff. And I'm currently writing up articles about the dragons of the Flaness. And that's where I do all the different dragons except the evil dragons, because there's already a ton written about evil dragons. So
you're writing about the good dragons.
The good dragons, the neutral dragons, the brown dragons, the cloud dragons. I just wrote up a Electrum dragon. Wrote up about Electrum dragon.
Did I show you what I got recently?
Maybe. I don't know. You're gonna make me jealous. You got all kinds of cool shit now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look at this.
The James Ward Greyhawk Adventures.
The 1E version.
Yeah, baby. That's good shit right there.
I've only looked through a little bit of it so far. Anyway, first you are going to get a surprise round, Odie.
Yellow.
Hold on, sorry, I can't find my there. I have a mouse over here. What am I doing? Okay.
Did you put the map on?
Oh shit! I did, but I didn't hit that. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So all the people at home can see.
So first he'll see that and miss. Does he get advantage if it's like a sneak attack?
Sure.
Not a sneak attack.
Well, yeah, it is a sneak attack effectively. So, you know what? We're going to give you advantage on it because they don't know you're coming. So, yeah, this is advantage.
Nice.
So that'll hit the first guy, and you killed him.
Okay.
And you still have another attack. Yep. Roll. Yep. Nothing. Yoink. All right. Now it is your turn.
Cool. Nope.
13 misses. So the other one sees that and says, "Oh shit!" and ducks out of the way as you swing.
What does he say?
But then you swing back, and as he's standing back up, and you just, I'm assuming, lop off his head. Yep, he's gone.
Why am I rolling 11 for everything?
I don't know. That seems weird, doesn't it? No, it's right though. Yeah, you just keep rolling the same damage every time. But it is right. All right, their turn. These goblins are going to attack. And I'm sure they're going to take you down with their scimitars. Oh, we rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, you sure did.
Oh.
Oh boy.
So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of damage for that guy.
Okay.
He really did come to play here. He's got some bloodlust going on. He's the other guy rolled a 23.
That does hit.
For 4 slashing. So 15
Okay.
altogether.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's hilarious because I just got 15 temporary hit points. Exactly. So. It's funny. Okay.
All right, your turn.
Swing. Swing.
All right, both hit, so you're probably going to kill both of them. That is so.
No, this is.
There's
this is,
got to
oh, no,
be.
it's
No,
not.
there you go. You were right. You just got 4 6s in a row.
I'm just rolling 6s very well.
And this guy is hanging on by a thread. But he is still. Oops, I killed the other guy. But the guy who had the initiative attack attached to him. But anyway, the guy who crit you is going to attack again. And miss. And now
Obviously, it's a miss.
Now it is your turn.
Can I just flick him?
You can do whatever you want. It's your turn.
The 14 hit.
That will miss. That will
That
hit,
hits.
and he's dead. He had 1
That's a
hit point
yeah.
left.
What a waste of a crit.
Yeah. I mean, you can still roll the damage if you want, but he had literally 1 point. It's impossible.
No,
to
that's
get.
like rubbing it in when you do that. Don't do that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so you just come up to them, sneak in behind them, and just cut them down. Now, one guy did get a good shot in on you, and that distracted you a little bit, where the other guy was able to clip you, but you were able to get out of the way for most of the blow, just enough. But yeah, so here you see up ahead an old couple, human, with a cart, wooden cart. And you can see it looks like they have like all their worldly possessions, or at least what they were able to put on this cart. And they're trying to pull it out, and you can see they're heading toward the
Like villagers.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're heading away from the north gate. They're heading south, because that's where the armies came in from. I should have said that before, from the north. Although you did see that, some were spreading out to go to the around to the side for the eastern gate. But for right now, most of the draconians and goblins that are coming in have gone in from the gate that you just entered from on the north side. The dragons are all over the place. That's why everything's on fire already. So anyway, that's what you see, and there's this wheel just sort of cracks and breaks on this cart, and you can see the old man is trying to like fix it, and the woman is yelling at him to forget it, let's go, and he.
Okay, so do I know of any, like, do I have any idea of where the dragon army might not be? Or might not go?
It's hard to say. The only place
Because
where
they're, like, flying around.
it looks like they were going to, again, the dragons are everywhere. The armies were going from the north and the east. The western side, seems to be where a lot of people are fleeing to. So between the west and the south is where people are going. At this point, it's hard to say if there's, where the dragon armies are in that regard, but those are best you can think of. One of those two directions or both, you don't know, is probably the best, at least right now.
Okay. He'll run up to the couple.
The woman
without even
screams.
thinking. Yeah. He stops and hesitates and like looks at her.
Yeah, and
almost
she actually jumps in front of her husband, who's still with this wheel, and as if to protect him.
Yeah.
And they say, "Please, please. What can killing us accomplish?"
I'll fix it.
What?
I can fix it.
Don't turn your back to him.
Yeah, what? This is how carjackings happen.
We're being wagon jacked.
They take a step aside. What trickery is this?
He kind of just hesitates and shakes his head and just kind of leans down and starts trying to fix the wheel.
Okay, roll a.
If they let them. Doesn't know how to fix wheels.
What you would roll for this? What do you think, guys? Help me out here. What would we roll to fix a wagon?
Intelligence.
Land vehicle?
Do you have land vehicles?
Oh yeah, do you have one?
And if so, what is that?
I don't.
What is that based on? Like, let's.
Yeah,
So it procs whatever, like it procs whatever attribute you want.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out.
So probably intelligence or strength.
I would think
Yeah.
intelligence.
it's
Probably
either
intelligence.
strength or intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little bit of both mixed in there, but let's do an intelligence roll first to see if you can figure out how to do it.
I mean, I just rolled a land vehicle.
Oh, there you go. All right, 15. Yeah, you're able
Yeah.
to get this axle back up onto the undercarriage of the cart, and you're fitting it in as best you can. There's definitely a piece of it that's kind of broken off, but it will work now. At least, short term. If they hit a pothole, they're fucked. But
Just drive straight. Don't turn. Don't turn.
So once he's done with that, he'll kind of like back up with his hands up and do his best to like disappear.
okay, they are so confused about what just happened,
And if they're like flabbergasted, he'll be like, "Run!"
and then they turn and they run, and they like the guy grabs the cart and pulls it with him.
Do I know of any way to, what are the red dragons' kryptonite? Like, do I know that? Do I have any idea of like what would distract them or?
The only thing that would distract them would be something interesting to kill. As far as their weaknesses, you haven't seen any yet.
So as far as that goes, like what is something that they would be interested in killing?
I don't know. I mean, they've got their choice here right now.
Sure.
So
All right.
whatever. I mean, what do you? That's up to you to decide.
Right. So see, you said griffin, and now griffin's on my mind.
Oh, they would love to kill a griffin.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? I've got a griffin head hanging up on my... No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. That's disgusting. People, taxidermy is not my thing. Just going to throw that out there. If you're thinking of getting me a birthday present, a taxidermied animal is not the way to go.
I'm just trying to see if minor illusion could create something like that. Spoilers.
You could create a 5-foot
Yeah.
cube of a griffin.
It's just an image. Okay. Were you gonna say something, Jason? Okay, my bad.
And keep in mind, there's at least 10 red dragons
so
here.
He will say, he'll think to himself like, gee, I wish there was a griffin or some sort of giant animal to distract these dragons.
I'll tell you what, make a perception check.
Okay.
Oh,
19. You actually see 6 griffin flying toward the city. They're distant. They're flying toward the city.
Okay.
Thank you, Snowbound, for 100 bits. I don't know what you call these things still. You think by now I'd...
100 bits.
Huzzah!
huzzah!
Thanks, Snowbound.
So
And I'm pretty sure 200 more get you guys another inspiration.
Did we get 200 before from somebody?
You got... Oh, yeah, so it's only one... Yeah, so yes, that's why you have 3 right now in the bank, so you need 2 more to get that inspiration.
Oh, okay. Okay.
from which direction are they coming from?
They are coming from the south.
Okay. So towards the north.
Yes, they're moving in a northernly direction.
Right. I'm saying he will cast without quite understanding what he's doing. He'll cast Silent Image and Griffin will appear about 60 feet away. Yes. In order to, I think, read through that. I read through it really quickly. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so it's a 15-foot cube.
Yeah, which is kind of small.
But
But maybe it's a baby. Maybe it's a little weak little
they
baby.
love eating baby griffins.
Sure.
Yeah, you can alter the image to make it look like it's walking or flapping its wings or
Like
So
wounded. Sure.
okay. And who are you trying to attract with this griffin?
Any old dragon that sees it.
All right, let me get my dragon
If
out.
the dragons are sentient, obviously, so
Yes.
if he sees one, he'll try to call its attention to it.
I hope those griffins weren't our ride.
Sure. What'd you say?
But I hope those griffins weren't our ride.
Well, as a matter of fact. Hold on, I lost my red dragon. All right, so what's your You know what? Roll me. What's your spell DC? We'll do it that way.
I mean, the spell save DC right there is 13.
Oh, that is literally right in front of me. Yeah. Well, I didn't read that. Okay.
No, I was making the face because you just rolled a 13.
I rolled a 13. So at first, this dragon sees this thing and thinks, "Baby Griffin, I'm gonna have some lunch." Swoops down because I mean it just tied to the DC, so this isn't a slam dunk that he caught this. But then as he comes closer, he realizes, wait a minute.
Well, if he starts to swoop down, rather, I'll move it.
Sure.
I'll have it run.
Yeah, but he's looking at it and he's like, this is weird. So he's going to sort of like come. He's definitely like he's probably, if that's 60 feet up from you, he's.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna have it on the ground, just like 60 feet away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's still then probably 60 feet up.
Okay.
And over this thing, and he's a little bit interested by it, but then a nun escorting a bunch of children runs by and
He's like,
Is this Johnny Dangerously?
yes, but with dragons. And that gets his attention, and you see it look over in that direction. You've got a split second before he moves if you want to do anything else.
Sure. He'll again wish that something crazy distracts this dragon. So over in another direction, he'll like a lightning bolt will appear.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Nat 20. He's on to your shenanigans.
Fucking dragon.
Yeah, and he goes after and just.
He's not used to this magic thing yet.
just swoops. They're
Doesn't
good
get it.
ideas. I'm just rolling really good tonight. Swoops down and just with his giant jaws scoops up the children and the nun and eats them.
Oh. Nah. That's what the dragon's doing.
And then you see it look in another direction, and it flies off. Now it's straight. It's a straight shot, so you can see this thing, and it flies off. I mean, you can see a group of people. These are heavily armed people too. So I don't even. They may be like guards or militia, mercenaries. Hard to say what. In the city square, a few hundred yards ahead of you, lands on top of the city or the palace, which is not very large here. Lands on top of it, and with it, stone bricks come crumbling and crashing down to the ground. He looks at that group and breathes fire at them. And with that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. And for those of you paying attention when we were in Tarsus originally during this fight, that is the original heroes, the OG group.
About to die.
About to die, yeah. So we've got Gorell. Hold on. Let me look at my sheet here. Yikes. I'm knocking things over. We've got in that area. No. Zane, Ergrin, Elliston, Gorell. All standing in that square. So we've got them in the middle. Up above on the governor's palace is this dragon breathing fire at them. Down the street we got Odie.
Odie.
And if you want, as a little treat, I can show you the map for next time, so you can start thinking about what you want to do.
Run's a good option.
All right, so we've got a few dragons over here. There's others flying around, but these are the ones causing havoc. Or creating havoc. So we've got, let me move this into a spot where our...
Feels alive.
All right, so we have the group that I just mentioned over here in the central square. We've got this big-ass dragon over here. We've got... I've got to put Odie on the map here. Hold on.
I can throw him on if you want.
Yeah, I got him. Oops, he's super big. Yeah, he grows.
That's his dragonborn ability.
All right, so you're not
He's special.
You're not that close to these guys because these guys are in the library still.
Sure.
So you're on the street here, just down the road from the central square. We've got. Oops, hold on. Boom. And where's my boy Flint Fireforge? Oh, he's big too.
Where's the Minotaur?
Oh, dude.
Outside the gate.
No, this is after the fact. Again, that whole thing, keep in mind, is all... We've been doing this in all sorts of non-chronological order. All right, so we've got Zane... Nope, I lied to you. Zarek, there we go. Sooner or later I'll get that right. He's not really here either. They left. We've got Zarek, and we can't really see this on the map here, guys, but off to the east gate here, over here, we have Zarek, Flint, Lorana, and an unconscious Gilthanis.
I think he's dead.
Oh, no, he's still... Yeah, no, he somehow... He had one. Jason had one chance at a death save to keep him alive, and he made it. So he's stabilized for right now.
Oh,
that being
I thought
said,
he was dead.
None of you guys have any way to heal him.
Right.
And you're outside the city gates. The good news is, you're not immediately being attacked by dragons like everybody else.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Down here. We have Alana, Jadek, and Kaylani. So they're over by the western seawall here. Again, this wall here is only a 5-foot wall. These little boats are the old white-winged ships of Tarsus that are now have been repurposed into homes and little shops. And then... We've got our boy, the man of the hour, Riverwind, still at the inn of the Red Dragon.
That dude's gonna die.
And coming from the south, Odie sees 6 griffins approaching. They're not here yet, though. So that's where everybody is right now. Again, you guys over here are underground. Everybody else is above ground and either outside or in a inn. So anyway, make a mental note of that, and we will get back to that next time. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us here on D&D Friday for Wicked Studios Presents Dragonlance: Dragons of Ice Part 2. We will continue where we started. We took a little bit of a detour to introduce some new characters. I think they're cool. I like them. I hope you guys do as well. I think you guys did a good job creating very interesting characters and things that some that you would not expect here in the War of the Lance, like a Draconian and a Minotaur, for example, or even a Kaganesti elf. It's about time we have a Knight of Solamnia in here as well. So that was something we've been missing. So I'm glad to see that as well. And we're gonna get, so next time these guys are gonna be playing both characters, and then we'll see what happens from there. But anyway, so as always, like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube /Mr. Adam PL, of course, twitch.tv /Wicked Studios LLC, Facebook /Giant Stomp, and of course on our podcast, just search for Dragonlance Canticle anywhere you listen to podcasts, unless it's some like really weird, obscure place that no one's ever heard of, in which case you're probably not going to find it. But we were in like 10 things. You like Apple? We're there. You like Spotify? Boom, got you covered. You like other podcast things? Why not? We're there too, probably. So check that out as well. We have about the first 19, I think, up there. So a little more than half, just more than half of the episodes are on there. So we're catching up to the rest of this. The first couple, the sound isn't great for some reason.
MySpace.
Probably because Will is on the... Yeah, we're on MySpace. Is MySpace still a thing?
Yeah, it still exists. A lot of bands use it now.
Wow. So, anywho, join us on Wednesday for Greyhawk Adventures, The Streets of Lukesh. We've gone 4 episodes so far, so they're going into episode 5. Now, is this another short run, or is this going to be a longer run, Will?
It'll be a longer run. It's definitely longer than the past couple of ones that we had, because it's going to play out as long as the story needs to unfold.
Or
It's
until
not
you get bored of it and want to do something else.
Yeah, that too, because that's always in the cards. So, but where the other ones had hard stopping points, it'll take. It really depends how good of investigators they are. If they're really bad, it could be a long time.
It could be an endless game.
Right?
So anyway, check that out, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. And of course, every Friday, for the most part, join us here for Dragonlance. And anyway, we will see you guys next time. So thank you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Thank you for hanging out with us as always. And we will catch you next time on Dragonlance.
Straight up.
Bye-bye.
Ah.